we're now going to take what we've learnt about constants and variables and apply them here within our playground. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a variable called greeting. I'm just going to give myself a little bit more space below our first print and hello world, and I'm going to type var, and then it's greeting, and then I say is assigned, and I'm going to create a greeting, and in our greeting we'll say hello Swift developers. Hello Swift devel. It does help if I can spell. Hello Swift developers. And then the next thing I want to do is I want to actually print that greeting. So I'm going to start typing greeting, and you'll notice that here in the autocomplete, greeting pops up. I now press return and it's there. The other thing you may have noticed, I had only typed GR, and after a few seconds over here came something warning me of a possible error. And that was because during the playground, or as the playground goes, it's going, what are you trying to do? And it couldn't evaluate what was happening. So that's a little bit more advanced, and we'll come to those things later. But I just wanted to clarify that in case you're going, oh, what's happening over there on that side of the window? Now I want to run my program. So as I did previously, I'm going to click the play button, and you'll notice over here on the right hand side in our results sidebar, we have some information there of what's gone on. And down here in the bottom, you can see we've got hello Swift developers. So we've created a variable called greeting. We've given it a value. That value is hello Swift developers. And now we've said print greeting. And what that does is it prints the value stored within greeting. So that's how we've gone about doing that. Now, the next thing I want to do is change something. So I'm going to use our same variable greeting, and I'm going to say greeting is assigned, and this time I'm going to say glad you are here. Glad you are here. And I come down and I'm going to print greeting again. Come down and using the play button, run the code. And you'll notice what we see here in our results sidebar. So as we go through line by line, we're seeing that come out. And down here we have hello world. So our first line of code executed up here. Hello Swift developers. So we've created our greeting, our variable called greeting, and we've printed it. Now we've said using greeting, that same variable, we're going to give new value to it, okay? And then we're going to print it again. And that's what we've got down the bottom here. So we've created a variable, we've given it a value, and then we've printed it. We've used the same label, given it a new value, and then we've printed it again. So the next thing we want to do is look at constants. Now with constants, as we saw, we use the keyword let. So I say let mother's name have a value of Judith. So I've created my constant using, I know it's a constant because I've used the keyword let. I've given it a label or name called mother's name, and I've given it a value, Judith. And as we're learning, I'm going to go print, and say I want to print mother's name, and I have that there. I come down to the play button underneath that line of code, and I click play, and we have in our results sidebar showing what's happening line by line. And down at the bottom here, we have the results of executing our code. The next thing I want to do is similar to what we did with the variable in changing it, and I'm going to go mother's name, and I can just start typing it and it pops up there. I hit return. I now say is assigned, and I will say Mary. And we come down, and before I've even had a chance to start to run the code, you can see here on the right hand side within my code window, cannot assign value mother's name is a let constant. So it's telling me already there's an error. I'm just going to try and run it anyway. And you'll notice down the bottom here, we get some more problems. So constants can't be changed. Our variables we can create, and we do using the keyword var, and we can change those throughout the course of our program. With constants, we use the keyword let, but once we've set them, they are constant throughout the entire running of our program. So that gives you some working examples of variables and constants.